Hi, welcome back to Inside Charlottesville, your monthly local public affairs TV program. I'm your host, Afton Schneider, Director of Communications and Public Engagement for the city. On this episode, we'll go on the spot with City Manager Sam Sanders. We'll visit the Charlottesville Community Media Center, where students from Starr Hill Pathways recently participated in a multimedia production workshop. We'll hear from our fire and police teams with a monthly update from each department. Utilities Outreach Program Coordinator Ryan Willis announces the winners of the first ever Charlottesville Utilities Storm Drain Art Contest. And we'll get to know Matt Alfele, Development Planning Manager with NDS. All right, City Manager Sanders, thanks for being out here today. Where are we?
We're at 2000 Holiday Drive.
2000 Holiday Drive. This name means a lot of things to a lot of people, but for those who don't know, what is this property?
What it means right now is that it is a part of the conversation on what we're doing to work to help those who find themselves unhoused in our community. It's a chance for the city to do something in a big, bold way that is different than what we've done before.
And what are the plans? What are we going to do?
So what we've done is recently council received a presentation from a low barrier shelter group that we pulled together to make sure that we could have full conversation with subject matter experts on how do we run interference with the situation that people find themselves when they face homelessness. And what we're going to do is just try to figure out how do we activate this building. It's 27,000 square feet. It's 27,000 square feet of a space that we have not had available to us in this community, and it makes it possible for us to provide year-round services, and that's the game changer.
And that group, if I remember correctly, was Potcham, The Haven, and BRAC.
That's correct. BRAC is our continuum of care, the Blue Ridge Area Coalition for the Homeless.
And how is this group of people, how are they involved with this property? Will they be the operators of this property? How does that work?
So that's what we're working to figure out. What we decided to do was to have them come together, work as a group, and identify what would be an operating model, what are the types of services, and what would be the features of what could happen in this former office building. Converting that building into the Homeless Services Center is what I've been referring to it as. What actually happens behind those doors.
So no one has actually committed at this time, though?
Not yet. At this point, we're still in the visioning stage. The goal was to have them help us determine what would actually be possible, help us begin to price that. There's a lot of money that is needed. The city bought the building, so it's now owned by the city of Charlottesville. The next thing is to figure out what is it going to take to improve the space and then eventually figure out how to operate it on a daily basis.
When we say operator, we use this term a lot, and we use the term continuum of care.
Yeah.
What does that mean for the people who would live here?
So ultimately what that is really all about is we want to make sure that it's not just the fact that we're opening a shelter overnight and it be available every day, year round. What we're hoping to do is that we provide quality, comprehensive services, things that are going to make it possible for people to receive the type of interventions that they may need, that eventually they climb to self-sufficiency. And that's on the pace that they are able to follow. It's not with a predetermined, this is how many days that you can do anything. Those are questions. I think that's what we're really trying to figure out, and why it's a visioning conversation right now, and then it shifts to an operating conversation. And
we realize that this is not a solution. There isn't a solution, or else it wouldn't be happening all over the country.
The way I refer to it is there is no magic bullet to solving homelessness. Even though we can have the statement that is out there that we can just simply provide housing, we have a difficulty in this community providing housing for everyone who doesn't find themselves in a situation of being unhoused. So that's why that doesn't ring true as the only solution. There has to be a variety of things. There's a big puzzle, it's the way I refer to it. This just happens to be a sizable piece to that puzzle. There's more work to be done beyond this.
Definitely. And do you have any ideas, I know this is early on, of how we would attract people to come here and make this their place?
I think part of it is just the fact that we would have a place once and for all that is year-round available to people. It's really about what do we program inside the building? What are the various things that gives a person a reason to come here? Why would they choose to come here than to stay where they are? That's the question that I'm posing, and that is what I think council is looking for us to answer.
Timeline. What are we thinking?
Timeline is still uncertain at this point because we're in the visioning stage. We've received the presentation. There are questions that have now come from that, so council is going to need to be able to ask more questions of the different groups that are offering up the ideas on what we do. I went to Harrisonburg last week to take a look at what they're doing. We've been to Richmond. The goal is to go somewhere else and take a look at what they're doing and bring all of that back into the conversation, because it's going to take us a minute to get the situation under control.
Well, City Manager Sanders, thank you for being back today.
On the spot.
On the spot.
We're here at the Charlottesville Community Media Center inside York Place on the downtown mall. It's a multimedia production and training facility operated by the city's Office of Communications and Public Engagement. Once again, we're hosting a group of students from Starr Hill Pathways, which is a college and career pipeline program for middle and high school students. Today, participants had an opportunity to learn all facets of studio production, including multi-camera switching, audio, and floor direction. Students also learned presentation techniques, getting to be the interviewer and interviewee with some valuable on-camera experience. In just 90 minutes, these students got a crash course in multimedia production. Each participant got a chance to go through all the motions of not just being on camera, but working behind the scenes, and then in the last half hour, a very quick editing demonstration where all the pieces were put together for a short promo. This partnership with Starr Hill Pathways is important because students gain hands-on skills training and ultimately workforce development. If this is something that they want to do professionally, as some of the participants indicated today their interest in the media field, I think this is a really neat way to start.
All right, Sana, what are your current career aspirations?
I want to do something in the medical field.
College basketball.
College basketball.
Anything with sports.
In the future, I think I want to be a part of an orchestra or be a director.
I want to go to college, and I want to study in early childhood education.
Have your aspirations changed since you first started with Starr Hill?
Yes, because at first I didn't really think about doing nothing after I got out of high school.
When I first started Pathways, I was in 7th grade, and I was really into theater, and Jamar helped me with that goal of mine. But since then, my goals have changed, but in the beginning, that's the person that helped me the most.
Like, I wasn't serious on my grades and stuff at first, and now I am a little more serious.
Looking at my dad, it's kind of what I want to do, so shout out to him.
How has Starr Hill Pathways supported you in finding your path?
I feel like they helped me when I first started, was in middle school. I think they helped me with my grades, and they helped me not to give up and stuff.
Helping me with my grades. It's really just been my guy Jamar back there, just supporting me and keeping me going,
They've pretty much helped me step out of my comfort zone and try new things to see what I want to do in the future. I'm still not completely sure, but that's how they've helped me so far.
Some of the pathways last summer I went on really helped me see what I want to do in college, so I feel like that helped me,
What advice would you give to counselors for working in Starr Hill Pathways with students?
Well, I always liked the counseling. They were so nice, and I see them as a friend, so they chill.
Nothing. I feel like they're doing a good job already. Them being cool and chill, and not on strict teachers for real.
Well, I don't really have any critiques, but I like when counselors try to relate more with the kids because it makes us feel more comfortable.
So I'm Officer Ryan, the Charlottesville Police Department. I'm just a patrol officer, daylight shift. I exclusively walk the mall. That's my beat down here. It's a beautiful place. A lot of people are coming down here. I ended up working for the city because I was looking for a move. My wife is from Winchester, Virginia. They also have a downtown mall. And we wanted to upgrade a little bit, come down here. It's a little bigger, a little bit nicer, a little bit more things to do. It's been a great move so far. It's a very diverse area, and I love that. It's got just about anything you can want, concerts, food. There's always a sports game you can go to. It's got about just everything you could ever think of. Yeah, so I came out to Virginia, worked for a veterans organization. I was living in Montana at the time. I was looking for a change. I was going through a change in life. And I had an opportunity to work for the same people that put out the program that I had been through. And in doing so, what I discovered was, even through my military service and everything like that, I wasn't quite done serving yet, I realized I still had more to do. Most things that I really wanted to do, I've been able to do, Yeah. I was a hunting guide, I was a cowboy, joined the Marine Corps out of high school, spent a lot of time in the mountains, out on the rivers, and this was one of those ways for me to also, give back and experience that life and pretty much help everyone, That's the beautiful thing about being a police officer, is that we help everyone. Anytime someone calls, you know, we show up, right? So a lot of times we show up to calls and, you know, you can show up and you can choose to really like, hey, as soon as I'm done with this call, I'm done with this person, right? You're not really building a relationship. In this area, in the city of Charlottesville, I think it's really important to go a little bit beyond that, right? Like, because when you build those relationships, you make it so people are comfortable calling the police, right? We want people to feel comfortable calling us. And that's just with like normal people, like individuals having help. It's also really important to build relationships with businesses. So when something does happen, you already have that relationship with them, right? They already feel comfortable talking to you. They already feel, you know, safe talking to you. They already feel like you're gonna help them because you go around and you talk to them without any calls happening. And the more trust that we can build with them, the better, right?
My name's Hannibal. I'm from Charlottesville. I grew up here all my life. I started at the fire department here around March 1st, 2021. So I've been here for about 5 years now. Honestly, it's been a great job ever since. Like, it's been the best job I've ever had. I live right around the corner from my station, which is Ridge Street, here at headquarters. I live right around the corner, so waking up for work for me ain't too bad. I probably wake up around 5:30, 6 o'clock, and I get here around 6:30, 6:40. Report for duty is around 7, but we like to get here a little earlier to give the guys before a little grace, you know, to get off, because sometimes a call could hit last minute and 30 minutes early can turn into 2 hours late. But yeah, when you get here, first thing you do, man, first of all, you want to check and make sure you got all your gear, because that's one detrimental thing, because there's a lot of pieces that go to your gear. You got your hood, you got your pants, you got your jacket. You're so many separate pieces. You got your SCBA mask. You gotta make sure you have all of those things together. Second, when you first get here, the first thing you wanna do is check your gear, your apparatus, because calls come whenever they come. Like, there is no set time. It's never perfect. So you wanna check those things as soon as possible. And then right after we finish stuff like that, we go straight into doing our daily chores, which is cleaning up the station, making sure the station is clean for the day, because this is a public building. People come in and out, so we want to make sure it looks nice for the community and stuff like that. Honestly, I'd say 90% of our calls are EMS. We run a lot of EMS in this city, so it's a lot of medical calls and stuff like that. We do run a lot of accidents with it being a student town and drinking and driving. You know, things do happen, but for the most part, there are a lot of simple medical calls. There's honestly been quite a few times since I'm from the city. There's been quite a few times where we've had some patients that I've known from the past, and they're just uncomfortable, just really uncomfortable. A bunch of new faces and stuff like that, sharing their details and stuff. And honestly, seeing my face on a call, it really lights them up. So that makes me feel good, because then they get comfortable and patient care goes easy for everybody. So that's one thing I love. Like, that's amazing. Like, it's a great give back to my community, and I appreciate it a lot. So, and it's simple things. It could be as simple as a car accident or somebody having an anxiety attack. You know, just seeing a familiar face, it's like, like, you know, it's just nice. So, and it's very rewarding, honestly. You know, I wouldn't trade it out for the world.
I make a shade with my body. I go looking for trees, for cues, for my appetite. Umbrellas, barely. Willow oaks throw soft tree light, paved for us mall rats. You could say this city is a forest missing some of its trees, so we might meet at the center.
Here are just a couple of the community wins that were examples of things that we couldn't do individually that different groups pulled together and made happen. The Three Notch Trail has gone from a idea in a couple people's heads to a fat line on a map to now picking possible routes. So good work, and there's lots more work to be done in 2026. The e-bike voucher program. Yeah? You're loud enough, Tommy, yell it. How many e-bikes vouchered out?
In 2025, we issued 91 e-bike vouchers. And we have issued so far in 2026, 8 vouchers and 20 some odd people. Vouchers open April 1st to the second round of 2026.
Right. So way more than 100 vehicle trips per day diverted at a minimum as a benefit.
What you're building here really matters. And tonight I want to talk about why it matters strategically. You know, for most of the 20th century, mobility meant railroads and highways. But in the 21st century, mobility increasingly means talent. You guys have amazing assets here, and I'm talking beyond the outdoor assets. You guys are doing some incredible things, because it's one thing to value the outdoors and outdoor access. It's another thing to build systems, that fund it, defend it, and sustain it.
I'm curious, having lived in Charlottesville for a long time, I've been to Roanoke and other communities that seem really hungry and competitive, and I feel like in Charlottesville, often economic development is seen as like a threat to a very historic kind of agricultural place. How do you bring outdoor rec to a community that's often saying it wants it, but is also saying it wants to stay exactly the same?
But we still have those same challenges, and it's a fine line that we walk as an economic development organization. We've just recruited a data center. This moving, Google is opening a data center. I mean, you can imagine, what that means to our recreation, environmental community versus our business community. So it's a very interesting line that we walk.
Thank you for all of the work that you have done, continue to do, and will do into the future. And I'm really here to just listen and learn and say thank you. And if there's anything that I can do, the governor can do, our administration can do to uplift the amazing work that you guys are doing here today and throughout your lives, please reach out and let us know. I look forward to all of the new trails and things that are going on in Virginia, and I will happily show up with a bike and big scissors to cut ribbons. I'm excited about that.
It really is an up and down process, and I love Pete's example of the 10-year timeline to get things done. That's kind of the scale we got to think out as trail developers. But that feeling of this is a great thing for our community, and there's different ways to look at it, and there's different ways to make it happen. If you are open to the potential of that change, you end up with that infrastructure that's great, that may go a roundabout way to get there.
Hi, I'm Ryan Willis, Outreach Program Coordinator for the City of Charlottesville's Department of Utilities. Thank you for tuning in for the exciting announcement of the winners on the first ever Charlottesville Utilities Storm Drain Art Contest. This contest invited community members aged 12 and up to creatively illustrate the importance of stormwater pollution prevention by submitting artwork that communicates the theme, Stormwater Pollution Prevention, Only Rain Down the Drain, for a chance to paint the design on a functioning storm drain inlet and win a $500 Visa gift card. The Department of Utilities manages the city's stormwater conveyance system, which is the infrastructure that handles stormwater runoff. Stormwater runoff is the precipitation that flows over the ground, where it can pick up pollutants like trash, chemicals, oils, and sediment before entering the stormwater system, which eventually discharges into waterways. And since stormwater does not flow through a treatment facility, any pollutants it contains go directly into our streams, creeks, and the Rivanna River. It's our hope that these art installations will be a visual reminder for the community of the interconnectedness between our daily actions and the health of our local waterways, serving to engage, educate, and motivate the community to prevent pollutants from entering our streams, creeks, and rivers through storm drains. The contest featured 2 submission categories:
a youth category for artists aged 12 to 17, and an open category for artists aged 18 and over. From these two categories, 3 winners were selected. 1 youth winner and 1 open winner were selected by a panel of judges brought together by the Department of Utilities, and 1 fan favorite winner was selected by the community via online voting. And we are excited to be able to say that in the first ever contest like this in Charlottesville, we received 27 art entries and 1,362 total fan favorite votes. And now, without further delay, I'm thrilled to announce the 3 winners. The youth category winner selected by our judges is Anna Rojas and her artwork titled, "What Flows Below?" Anna says, "My design was inspired by the contrast between a healthy and polluted environment. Growing up next to a pond with fish, I've always appreciated clean water and how important it is for wildlife. I used koi fish and lily pads on one side to represent clean water and a darker trash-filled side to show what happens when pollutants enter storm drains. I wanted to show how rainwater can either support life or carry harmful waste, depending on our actions." The open category winner selected by our judges is Katie Shiwi in her artwork titled, "Clean Water for the Flyers, Floaters, and Swimmers." Katie says, "This piece was inspired by my personal connection with our environment. The native species that are represented are a reminder of whose home we are protecting by keeping waste out of waterways." Finally, the fan favorite winner is Kayla Wynn and her artwork titled, "Storm Drain Buddy." Kayla says raccoons, often affectionately called trash pandas, for the curiosity around our waste, appear here as a playful message of the motto, reminding us that trash belongs in bins, so our storm drains and waterways stay clean. Later this spring, Anna, Katie, and Kayla will paint their winning artwork on storm drains located in McIntyre Park for the whole community to enjoy and to reflect on the importance of stormwater pollution prevention. And with that, the Department of Utilities wants to thank everyone involved that participated in the contest, including all of the artists who each submitted a wonderful design, and their friends, family, and teachers who supported them, the tremendous community participation and fan favorite voting, and the panel of judges for their time and deliberation. Thank you to you all. We hope this contest will motivate you to take action to prevent stormwater pollution, and to remember, only rain down the drain. For more information on stormwater in Charlottesville, visit our website at www.charlottesville.gov/stormwater.
Matt Alfele, I'm the Development Planning Manager for the Planning Division at NDS. Probably the best thing with the city is we're a large enough city, we do a lot of things, but we're small enough, you get exposure, you get a chance to experience a lot of different things within the city. So even though I'm in development review, done a lot of long-range planning in that position, got to see a lot of different areas of the city and participate in those. So it's really that you get a chance to be involved in a lot of different things in the city. I think is what I really enjoy about it. The fact that we touch on so many things that happen in the city, we touch on development review, long-range planning, building permits, inspections, property maintenance. We're probably get a lot of face time with the community. A lot of people know us in this department because they're dealing with us in those capacities. So I think it's just the fact that we touch on so many things that are important to everyone in the city makes our department really special. I love the hiking, so I am a resident. I live in Charlottesville, live down near the Ravenna River, so I love all the hiking close to the mountains, all the breweries and wineries. Definitely like to do all the outdoor activities and love that we're centrally located. We can go to the beach, go up to DC. I think we're a great size community, have a lot of great things, but also just still small enough to be able to enjoy it and know everyone in the town. I can be reached lots of different ways, through email address or through my phone number. So you can reach me either through email, which is my last name, Alfele, A-L-F-E-L-E-M for Matt at charlottesville.gov, or you can call me at 434-970-3636. I've had several different careers. I grew up in Georgia, used to be in the landscape industry. And my background's actually in history and art, and I used to work for the Red Cross and disaster relief. So I would say my wide range and background is kind of a neat fact.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of Inside Charlottesville. I'm your host, Afton Schneider. See you next month.